just got off at Dolgarrog and we're about to walk a few miles to get to the path that leads to Dulyn Bothy. I don't know if it's pronounced Dulyn or Dulyn, but yeah, so me and my brother are just doing a couple day Snowdonia hike. We've been walking a couple hours since the start. We stopped at that adventure park, Snowdonia Adventure Park, with all the tidal kayaking and surfing and wall climbing stuff. It was pretty cool. We stopped in the cafe for a sandwich and a coffee. That's pretty much all I've eaten today. That and an Alpen bar. So we've just been up quite a steep incline. You can't see, it's all the way down there anyway, around that hill, quite high up, and came from that direction, so I've walked all the way up and round, uphill, and we're heading in this direction, and you can just start to see some mountains. Try and zoom in, some mountains. So when we walk around that corner, hopefully we'll see more. That may be the last we see of civilization for a while. I can't really lift it up high enough.
942 metres, that one.
Which one?
In the clouds.
942 metres, wow. No, I know. We're in Snowdonia, but we're not near Snowdon.
Where are we going to pitch?
That's amazing.
Third biggest, I think it is.
I think it was the second. Yeah, we're staying by, I think it's, I don't know how you pronounce this, because it's obviously Welsh. Carned Llewyn or Llewellyn. I thought it was the second highest. It might be the third highest mountain in Wales by 1 metre, and that'll be close to where the Bothy is, and hopefully we'll have a view of it, or it'll be nearby to look at. Walls, but these are just ruins, like not enough to keep them in at all, so it's quite a lot. To be honest, I didn't really expect to see any, maybe a couple, but there's a whole herd of them. Black and brown horses over there. That's as much as I can zoom in on this camera. I'm pretty sure they're wild horses, which is awesome. So we're in the Bothy, we've got some candles lit and a fire going. It's really dark on here, I'll see if I can get my phone torch on. Sam's doing some stretches for his back and his legs. There we go. So this is what it looks like at night anyway. You'll see more of it in the morning. So there's a porch area there. The door outside's really hard to shut. And just a little area. There's all of this was already here. This stuff, pots, cups, and all of this shelf stocked, which, you know, only for emergencies, which people leave, which is really nice. So you've got some food, you've got mug shots, you've got gold syrup, all sorts of things. You've got herbs, salt, beans, soup, washing up liquid, wipes, tons of firelighters and spare cooking gas. We brought the wood, except this big wood that was already here. We brought our own candlesticks, which we've got more of, and tea lights. I've got plenty of those. And I'll just, do you mind opening that door for me, please? Through this door, thank you, Sam, is the bedroom area, and it's really echoey in here. So there's 2 bunk platforms, and they're really wide. You could easily fit 3 or 4 people on each one. It looks so spooky in the dark. And can't get this light on. A big enough floor area that goes all the way around, and enough chairs. There's plenty of chairs in there and a couple in here. Room, someone's doing some sweeping right now. You see? And yeah. There are a few more people here. They've just gone for a night walk, part of army training. And, you know, it's pretty interesting to talk to them about what they do. So I just thought while they were out doing their thing, doing the night walk, I'd just give a little night tour. Let's put some more on that fire. It was roaring a few minutes ago. So yeah, probably see more in the morning when it's lighter, when there's some light through the windows. It's about, well, it's 18:51 now, so, and it's November, so it's pitch black outside. There are a couple stars, but it's pretty cloudy. Not very rainy, surprisingly, but I think tomorrow's forecast for some rain. I can hear the wind. Very windy out, very cold, but to be honest, that fire, when we had that going, was keeping this place really warm and toasty. In there's a tiny bit chilly, because it's a separate room. But once we're in our sleeping bags and whatever, we'll be fine. So it's 10:10, we're just getting ready to go out for a walk today, and outside the bedroom window, some wild horses. There's one there grazing just outside, another white one behind it, and there's a couple little black foals with grey manes. That's absolutely incredible. They're so close. They're a lot closer than it seems on this camera as well. You can just watch them. Oh, yeah, you can see that one. It's walking over.
I think it might be pregnant.
Oh, it might be.
Quite big.
Yeah, that's a really big one. You can't properly see it on here, but it's the one at the back. It's got a really huge round stomach, so either it's really full and bloated, it might be pregnant.
The thing about horses and cows I've heard is once they're bloated, they can't release the wind.
Oh my god.
So they just keep filling up until they're too full and they like fall to the ground and die.
So we're in this little shelter that we've just come across. There's an old rolling pin, bottle. People have clearly been here. There's a packet, there's a bottle, but there's also quite a fair bit of dry wood that we might collect just lying about. That's what Sam's doing now. For the fire, we've got some kindling left in a log, so the more we can get the better really, and we can keep a fire going all night. So we'll just, we won't break anything apart, obviously we'll just take the scraps that are about, because that'll light well. It's all nice and dry in here. So yeah, it's cool to have stumbled across this.
Jackpot.
So Sam and I have been back since about 3:30. Oh, he's been doing his business. And I can't even begin to explain how brutal the weather was. I forgot to consider the storm that's going on. I forgot what storm that is, but it is pretty much gale force winds and rain, and it was insane. The worst weather I've ever walked through. Oh, I can just see the moon. Oh, it's just gone behind the clouds. Wow, there it is. Yeah, so we went out that way to the lake, to the reservoir, the lake. It was really nice, really windy though, oh my god, and obviously rainy. We were drenched when we got back. That's all our stuff drying. You can see that. I don't know if you can. We've got shoes, we've got my jacket, socks and pants. See, socks are drying. You might see the steam coming off them. And I don't know how many miles we walked because I forgot to record it on the Strava app that I usually use. But from 11 till 3:30, so you know, it's a good amount of time. We climbed up the peak, the mountain over there, I think it's called Pen Y Castell, Pen Y Castell or something. 620 meters. Not easy, and when we got onto the top, it luckily wasn't raining. The sun actually came out. It was glorious, and the rainbows everywhere too. And it was after then where so yeah, the wind on top, we could lean against it and it would support our weight. It was windy, and Sam nearly lost his bag cover. It blew away, but he managed to catch it this year. And then we head down to that shelter that had the wood, and after that, you know, it was bright and sunny. It was still windy, but it was bright and sunny and wonderful, big rainbows. And we walked back. It was the walk back. There's the moon again. And it was the walk back that was just hell. The entire walk before that was fine. It was windy, but it was, you know, fun, good spirits. But then the walk back, we still managed to keep the spirits up. We didn't get all like, ooh, because we couldn't really hear each other. We were just powering through this intense wind, just blowing us back, walking against the wind, and the rain pelting our face like that. Stung. It was like little rocks being thrown at your face, and I felt so weak at one point, but all you got to do is just keep moving. So that's what we did, and we finally got back absolutely drenched, wrung our socks out. I got changed into my dry stuff immediately, got a fire going, and I have never eaten my food fast enough. We were both starving, so we had our food. I ate pretty much a whole bar of dairy milk in like a minute flat, and yeah, that was a few hours ago. It's now probably between 5 and 6, probably closer to 6, and we'll probably head to bed in a few hours. because we're getting a bit tired, but we've got some wood to burn through. We've got plenty, and we've warmed up the place really nice. It's not cold in here at all anymore. It was cold when we got in, but relative to outside, it was a saviour. It has never felt so good to come inside from the elements outdoors. I've never felt such relief in my life. Because like I said, the first half of that walk was incredible. It was just that stretch back, just the last hour, and I couldn't get the camera out to film it because it would have probably blown right out of my hand, to be honest, because how it didn't blow my hat off, I don't know, but there were times when I had to just grip onto it. This one here. He's back in now. Sorry, you can't open it. I thought that was a win the whole time, but you couldn't open the door. So, yeah, that's all really. So nice and toasty now, drying our stuff. Yeah, we've been listening to some music. I'm gonna head to bed in a few hours. My son figures out how to open the door. It is a pretty stiff door, but I think it's just us tonight, unless someone turns up. But if they have, then I pity them, because being out in that weather, especially when it's pitch black, must be so disheartening and intense. Sam, can you see the moon?
No.
You can see it from the window. I could see a star then as well, or it could have been Jupiter. Oh, it's beautiful. Very nice.
I've got an invention.
What is it?
Shoe dryer. Oh well.
A shoe dryer?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Well, it's a box where you put your shoe in, and then the lid has this tube that goes into the this part.
Yeah.
And it just blows warm air into like hot air. And then it's got another button on the inside of the box where it just sprays your shoe a few times just on every angle with waterproof spray. That comes at another 50 quid though, not included the bottle spray.
Sounds like it could work, but you've just told everyone your invention.
Yeah, but I'm going to create it before you even post it. It takes you years to post videos, Jen. Don't worry.
No, it does. This will be up in maybe about a year or two.
My invention will be out there by then. Yeah. Called the Sunmeister 72.
Called the what?
Sunmeister 72.
Sunmeister 72. Stopping off for a little break before we carry on along the path and then take the Land Rover road the way we came. Not had our breakfast yet because we're doing that now because we just got out there as quick as we could. Basically, me and Sam had an awesome night until about 1 AM. We went to sleep about 10:30, I'd say. It was so good. The Bothy was warm. We were just chatting all night, we were listening to music, it was great, and we went to bed. We had like loads of like candles lit like around, it looked amazing. It was proper like medieval, but it was just really good. So basically about 1 AM or just after, we woke up by a really loud group arriving to the Bothy at 1 AM in a storm. So obviously nothing against people arriving because it's an emergency shelter. That's what a Bothy is used for, just a shelter or an emergency shelter, just a mountaineering shelter, hiker shelter. So obviously no objections to sharing it, you know. They just want to get warm and fed, but they were like screaming, so that was a bit annoying. One of them came in and said, sorry if we woke you, and left, but it didn't get quieter from there, it got louder. And from 1 AM till 5 AM when they decided to go to bed, I didn't get a single minute of sleep. I think Sam managed to get maybe about half an hour, but I just could not get to sleep because they were howling, playing music really loud. They knew we were in there, they knew we were asleep. About an hour into it, it took me an hour to get the courage to get up and ask them to keep it down. Very politely, I was like, please can you keep it down? I even said sorry afterwards. I was like, I'm sorry, good night. And they shut up for about a minute or two before changing nothing before nothing changed. So I was just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? And at about probably 4 in the morning, Sam woke up at this point and he couldn't get to sleep, and at this point they were full on like screeching, like laughing, shouting, telling stories, but really loud, like shouting. And there's no soundproof in there. There's a vent right next to the bed that leads to the other room for the fire for warmth, and that door doesn't block sound at all, so it's like they were in the same room. And so he had to ask them to be quiet, and they did. It worked a little bit, but we could still hear them. If they would have kept it at a really, like, you know, at a low volume, a respectful volume, fine, stay up, it's fine. Like, we don't care. They got the fire going, it got it a bit warmer for us, but not worth it for all that sound that they were making. And by the end of it, the whole time, they stunk the place out of weed. We personally don't mind that, you know, weed in general, but they didn't know that, and they didn't bother to ask. They didn't even speak to us or anything, other than the first guy who came in when they arrived to check if anyone was here, saying, sorry if we woke you up. But, so, yeah, this morning we got up way before them. Their own alarm didn't even wake them up. It was just going. So we got out there, and let's just say we got them back, but I won't go more into detail. So we feel a bit better about that now, and we're in really good spirits. You know, we're sit down eating, so excited for the rest of the walk. Looks like it's going to be decent weather. It's not very windy, it's not very rainy, so just going to get something to eat. Got it, see you.
Fighting?
What are you doing to it? What are you doing? Morning though, and honestly, how I was coping with it, I was